Hi, I'm Bugsy and I'm a recovering addict. I'm going to be reading just for today, November 21st, 2024, Letting Our Defects Go. Page 339, basic text, page 35. If character defects contributed to our health and happiness, we would not have come to such a state of desperation. Getting started on our 6th and 7th steps isn't always easy. We may feel as though we have so much wrong with us that we are totally defective. We might feel like hiding under a rock. Under no circumstance will we want our fellow addicts to know about our inadequacies. We will probably go through a time of examining everything we say and do in order to identify our character defects and make sure we suppress them. We may look back at a particular day cringing at what we're certain is the most embarrassing thing we've ever said, and we become determined to be rid of these horrible traits at all costs. But nowhere in the 6th or 7th steps does it say we can learn to control our defects of character. In fact, the more attention we focus on them, the more firmly entrenched they will become in our lives. It takes humility to recognize that we can't control our defects any more than we can control our addiction. We can't remove our own defects. We can only ask a loving God to remove them. Letting go of something painful can be as difficult as letting go of something pleasant. But let's face it, holding on is a lot of work. When we really think about what we're holding on to, the effort just isn't worthwhile. It's time to let go of our character of defects and ask God to remove them. Just for today, I am ready to have my defects removed. I will let go and allow a loving higher power to care for me. As you guys know, sometimes I don't agree with the literature. Not to say that there's no valuable aspects in the literature, but sometimes there's some things that is said that I just don't agree with. In this instance, it says that we can't remove our own character defects and we have to ask a God. But what about those who are in recovery who don't believe in a deity, don't believe in a religion, don't even have that type of higher power relationship? I don't want to come on here and say that the only way you can get clean and remain clean is if you believe in God and you give God all of your burden, or you ask God to remove your burden, because that's unfair to the recovering addicts who don't believe. And I'm very big on saying that you can believe whatever you want to believe, and I don't judge, and nobody else should judge you. And I hope that you don't judge me for not following in the same path that maybe you do. And I hope that even if our beliefs aren't aligned and the same, that you can also take something of value from the things I say. That being said, I would say that a character defect is something that we can take care of on our own. It is something that we should focus on from time to time, not to, hyperfixate on it and to make it bigger than it is and point it out every time you notice it. But think of it as a broken arm. Sure, you can gingerly hold your arm, you can put it in your pocket, you can kind of try to ignore it, but the pain is there. Even if nobody else notices that you have a broken arm, you'll notice. But there are ways that we, as the person with an injured arm or an injured heart that the addiction has caused us, we know it's there. And we have the power to take care of it. And sometimes, just like in addiction, we can reach out to somebody to ask for help to mend these injuries, mend this pain, fix the defects. I don't think that it is entirely true that we can't do it on our own, because we have been doing it on our own. But along the way, we may have had help. But just because you have had help doesn't mean that you're not doing it on your own. I go to the doctor because I have a broken arm. They can x-ray it, they can put a splint on it, they can put a cast on it, they can give me a sling. There are things that can happen to help that defect in my life, this arm that needs to be fixed. Because I noticed it, I know it's there, and I need help from somebody else to mend it. Same thing with the character defect from addiction into recovery. There may be things that, I really have a hard time looking at the positive things in life, and I struggle in not being negative about everything in my life. You can talk to your sponsor. You can talk to your pastor. You can talk to a friend. You can journal. You can talk to yourself driving to work. Sometimes hearing it out loud gives you the opportunity to figure out your own answer. How do I change this? How can I fix this? There are some things that we can fix on our own. I get a cut on my finger. Oh, I can put a Band-Aid on it. I don't need to go to the doctor for that. I can fix it on my own. That small little defect. But there are some bigger things that we do need help from other people. But that doesn't take away the value of you doing it on your own. You can also think of it as a teacher. A teacher teaches you a lesson, but you do the homework and take the tests. You did that on your own because you studied, because you listened, because you paid attention. So I can't fully 100% follow what the literature said today and agree totally with it, because I do believe that we don't have to give our defects away for somebody or something else to remove. We do have the ability to do it on our own. And sometimes, yes, we do need a little bit of help. But you asking for help in and of itself is doing it on your own. You're not waiting for somebody to sit there and go, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. When you, most of us, already know something is wrong. There's something that's not working in my life and I need to fix it. And like I said, some things are easy for you to fix on your own in private. Nobody even noticed. But there are some things that you may need to have some help in doing. So if you do believe in God or religion or a deity of your choosing, and it helps you to lessen your burden by asking your God to help remove your defects, by all means, ask away. If you have that relationship and it works for you, I praise you. You do that, because if it works for you, don't stop. But for those of us who may not have a belief system, a concrete or organized system of beliefs, don't think that you're doing it wrong. Don't think that you're helpless because you have no one to ask to remove my defects. I don't believe in God. Nobody's there then. I can't do it. I'm doing this wrong. Don't ever believe that. Because whatever works for you in your recovery works for you. If it keeps you sober and keeps you alive and keeps you moving forward, hold on to that. Hold on to it for dear life, because it's working for you. And don't ever compare yourself to anybody else's recovery because that person believes this and that person prays to that. Don't think that because you don't do the same thing that your recovery and your sobriety is not valid. So I'm preaching a lot right now. I feel like I am. I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong. I'm not trying to say anybody's right. But I am saying that you do have the ability to save yourself. You've already done the hardest step into saving yourself. So don't give up now. Embrace the defects that you have. Realize you have them. And try to find a way to grow with them. Grow out of it. Change it. Maybe alter it in a way that is beneficial to your life and your recovery. And I hope everyone's doing well out there. And I will talk to you later. Bye.